Don't miss the twist bottom left. Full story, my wife's son shoved me at the Christmas table. This seat is for my real dad. By the next morning, I hit the floor so hard I tasted copper. My entire Christmas Eve instantly shattered. But it wasn't the pain that stopped my heart, it was the chilling silence of my wife, Sarah, as her son, Lucas, stood over me, his hands still raised, ready to destroy everything. 23 people watched, or rather, pretended not to, as mashed potatoes smeared my sleeve and cranberry sauce dripped down my shirt. The air in the dining room hung thick with unspoken tension, a cold realization settling in my chest. I was invisible. My stepson Lucas stood over me, his face a twisted mask of rage and triumph. This seat belongs to my dad. Get out, he declared, loud enough for everyone to hear. The dining room went absolutely silent, the only sound the soft clink of my wife, Sarah, setting down her wineglass. I lay there, crumpled on the floor, waiting. Waiting for her to call my name, to tell him to stop, to do anything that would prove I wasn't just a ghost in my own home. But she didn't. Instead, she calmly reached for a napkin, starting to wipe gravy off the hardwood floor. As if that was the urgent problem, not me, still on my knees, humiliated, cranberry sauce slowly soaking into my shirt. It was then, in that gut-wrenching moment, that I finally understood, this wasn't a fight I could win because I was the only one in the room who even thought we were fighting. I pushed myself up, slowly, without a single word. I walked past the Christmas tree I'd spent 4 hours decorating that morning, grabbed my jacket from the hook by the door, and just left. As I stepped out, Lucas's biological father, Roger, was laughing about something in the kitchen, completely oblivious. Or maybe he wasn't. Nobody followed me. Not a single person called. I sat in my truck in the driveway for 10 long minutes, watching the house windows glow warm and gold, seeing shadows move behind the curtains. It was like I'd never been there at all. Then I drove to a motel off Interstate 10. I couldn't think of anywhere else to go. Let me back up, because this didn't start on Christmas Eve. This whole mess began the day I married Sarah, 16 years ago, inheriting a teenage kid who clearly never wanted a stepfather. My name is David Miller, 56 years old. Spent 32 years as a union machinist before my back finally gave out. I was raised to believe your word is your bond, and your home, your sanctuary. My father sat at the head of our table every Sunday for 40 years, a quiet, solid presence, until the cancer took him. When he died, I inherited that chair, a heavy oak piece he built himself back in 1967. I brought it to the house Sarah and I bought together in 2009. It wasn't about power, not for me. It was about continuity. It was about being the man who kept the roof solid, the bills paid, the fridge stocked. And for 16 years, I did exactly that. While Lucas grew from a sullen 17-year-old into a 32-year-old man who still treated me like a temporary inconvenience. Sarah always said he'd come around, that he just needed time, that his complicated relationship with Roger made things tricky. And I believed her. Because the alternative was admitting I'd spent 16 years as a perpetual guest in my own life. The disrespect wasn't new, it usually just stayed small enough to ignore. Lucas would show up unannounced with Roger and Leo, and they'd drink beer in my garage, then go quiet the moment I walked in, like I'd interrupted some sacred, private meeting. 2 weeks before Christmas, Lucas casually asked bottom left of screen, click full story.